Hey, my little angels, come on in, come in. Happy to see you guys, come on in. Who's here? Oh, I see we have new people. Hi, new people. I'm so glad that you're here. Come on in, be comfy. And if you like what you see, you can give it a thumbs up to like it. You can share it. Comments are amazing. I love the comments. I love interacting with you guys. I love knowing what you think. And it just lets us, let me put that away. It just lets us make this big old world a little bit smaller. And definitely please hit that subscribe button below. And hello, my returning people. Hi guys. Hi. I see you and I'm so glad you came back. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for your support, your encouragement, your love. Please keep coming back and keep those comments coming. I really appreciate them. And please just make sure that you're still subscribed, okay? All right, so you're all looking at me. Auntie Angel, where are we? We're in the office where the studio is, but I moved over to the couch for a different perspective because today's video is about perspective. And sometimes we have to take a step back and get a little more perspective, okay? So in order to demonstrate that a little bit better, I'm going to read a poem to you. It's actually one of my all-time favorite poems. It really is. It's done in the well, I'll tell you what the technique is later, after I read it the first time. Because reading, you'll see, I'm just going to read it to you, okay? It's called I'm Very Ugly. And it's by Abdullah Shawib, okay? So, I'm very ugly, so don't try to convince me that I am a very beautiful person, because at the end of the day, I hate myself in every way. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying that there's beauty inside me that matters. So rest assured, I will remind myself that I am a worthless, terrible person, and nothing you say will make me believe I still deserve love. Because no matter what, I am not good enough to be loved. And I am in no position to believe that beauty does exist within me. Because whenever I look in the mirror, I always think, am I as ugly as people say? Pretty harsh, right? Okay. The technique of this poem, now I'm going to read it from the bottom up, from a different perspective. I always think, am I as ugly as people say? Because whenever I look in the mirror, beauty does exist within me. And I am in no position to believe that I am not good enough to be loved. Because no matter what, I still deserve love. And nothing you say will make me believe that I am a worthless, terrible person. So rest assured, I will remind myself, there is beauty inside of me that matters. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying I hate myself in every single way. Because at the end of the day, I am a very beautiful person. So don't try to convince me that I'm pretty ugly. Very different poem when you read it that way. And that's what perspective is. Seeing things in a different way. Read one way, it's horrible. Read the other way, it's a fight song. And sometimes, guys, we have to get a new perspective on things, okay? Sometimes we can get so caught up in our emotions and our reactions that we can't see past that, okay? Somebody taught me this a very long time ago. And it's funny, it kept it with me always. You can't choose what happens to you. Not all the time you can't. But you can always choose how you react to it. Now, don't take that to either extreme, okay? But I do listen to that very much. When things are going badly, and there is a part of me, there was a time in my life, you guys, where I would like get angry, or I would blow up, or I'd fall apart. Now, now I think about it. Okay, what can be done about this? And it's funny, that was what somebody said to me one time at work. They're like, nothing phases you, does it? I'm like, not really, no. Not anymore. You know, I've learned to just, this is what I've been handed. What can I do with it? You know, sometimes I can make something great out of what I've been handed. Sometimes I just have to wash my hands to get them clean. You know, I find that with perspective, how we see ourselves can change. If you're looking at yourself only through your flaws, I like air quotes, okay? You're not getting the whole picture of yourself, okay? It's the same way if someone only looks at their successes, they're not getting an accurate picture of yourself, because we're made up of a whole bunch of things, okay? And if you think about it, that's what makes us interesting. Our flaws can sometimes become endearments. Sometimes they're just flaws, okay? But if we didn't have flaws, we'd have nothing to work on, right? So our successes and our strengths can be great in some areas, but there's as well another perspective. Some people's strength could be their stoicism, their ability to not show their feelings. Sometimes people need to know their feelings, okay? Living with that inside you and not being able to get it out, it's not always healthy. And I'm not saying this works for everybody. I'm just saying generally, okay? I'm not a counselor. I'm just a me. It's just the stuff I've learned. But what I've learned, I want to share with you. And I'm really finding that sometimes our perspective just has to change, you know? Now, I am not talking about mental health issues. I am talking about how we view things sometimes, okay? My perspective needed to shake up the other day, okay? I was seeing physical flaws instead of physical accomplishments. And my attitude changed considerably once I started looking at what I could do, what I had achieved, why I had achieved things. Don't get me wrong, I still have a wee pity party once in a while, but who doesn't? You know what? I'm working on it. What do I always say, guys? Come on, returning people, say it with me. We are all works in progress. That's right. And I heard you say it. Thank you very much. There's somebody right now looking at it going, did she hear me? You'll never know. But our perspective can be so reactionary. And what I mean by that is what our perspective is may be based on things other than what is. Our perspective on the way things are could be clouded by how we react to another person, how we react to a situation, how we feel we've been reacted upon. That may sound a little confusing, but think about it. I'm trying to come up with a scenario. Okay, our perspective of our car broke down. Okay, this is the worst. This is the worst. Why? Why is it the worst thing? I can't get around. I'm going to be late for work. I'm going to get in trouble. I have a deadline to meet. I have an exam. Okay, so you're not upset about the car breaking down. You're upset about these things. Those are reactionary. Okay? You can call all of those places and tell them exactly what's happening. You can take pictures. You can have your mechanic write a letter. You can prove that you were trying to get where you needed to be. But what you were upset about was not actually the car breaking down. If you were only upset about the car breaking down, not about the rest, if the rest didn't exist, you could react very differently. You'd be like, okay, what is wrong with this vehicle now? Better call and get a tow. Oh, do I have enough money to get a tow? Okay, I'll call, fill in the blank. My dad, my friend, my wife, my spouse, my mom, my whatever, right? Can you come pick me up and help me figure out what to do with this? Okay, no problem. I'll call my friend. Their so-and-so is a mechanic. We can have a look at it. It changes, doesn't it? The immediate pressing isn't there. But when we just go to the reaction stuff, okay, let's pick an exam. If I miss this exam, I'm gonna get 0. I'm gonna fail the course. I'm gonna lose my scholarship. Okay, stop. Let's deal with one thing at a time. Am I going to be late for my exam? Yes. Okay, can I call an Uber? Can I call a cab? Can I call a friend to get me there on time? Yes, I do have time for that. Tick, done. Nope, I do not have the time for that, and I don't have the money, and I don't have the credit. Okay, make a phone call, call the school, explain the situation. They will say one of 2 things. That's all you have to keep saying, one of 2 things. Maybe it's 3 or 4. They're gonna say, okay, don't worry, we can make up the exam with you. They may say, okay, 3 things. They may say, get here when you can, but you are only gonna have X amount of time for the exam. And they may say, too bad, if you're not here, you're locked out and it's a 0. That one you gotta deal with. The other 2 you have to deal with. Now we're no longer reacting, we're dealing with. Do you know what I mean? Reacting is when we're just freaking out. Okay, nothing's getting accomplished that way. Now we're actually dealing with what could or would happen and how we're going to handle a situation. It's all about perspective. Are we looking at the whole chaotic, what am I going to do? Or are we looking at the, what can I do? And there's another thing that can change your perspective immediately. It's a tiny little wee word, but it's my favorite word. And it's just 1, 2, 3 letters. And my returning people, my OGs, know exactly what this word is. Anybody remember it? That's right. That's right. Yet. Y-E-T. Yet. I love that word. It changes any sentence into a positive. Any sentence. I cannot do this. Yet. I don't understand this class. Yet. I can't get my boss to trust me. Yet. I don't know where my kid's shoes are yet. No, that doesn't work, but you're getting my idea. Some things you can do that with. I know there's things that can't. I know this is oversimplification to the nth degree, but it's still about perspective. And perspective, we own that, okay? We just have to decide how to use it. It's like having, I'm on a car kick today. It's like having the most amazing car. Your perspective is, do you keep it in the garage where no one can see it? It stays safe that way. Or do you take it out and risk an accident? Or do you focus on not having one? It's all about your perspective. I'm not saying any one of those is correct, because it has to be correct for you and for me. What's correct for me may not be correct for you, okay? But our perspective is what makes that decision for us. And if something isn't going right or we're feeling out of control, sometimes we need to change that perspective. Sometimes it's as simple as stepping out of the situation. You know, if you're standing there and the kid is driving you absolutely up the wall, and if you have to answer the question why one more time, you're going to lose your mind. You know what? Let's make cookies. You know what? What's your favorite show? Can you draw me a picture of it? Can you draw me a picture of your favorite flower? Why? Because I want to put it up on the fridge. That should be okay. It's getting yourself out of that situation for a minute. We do our breathing exercises. We focus and we recenter. Our perspective has now changed. Okay, now we can deal with the whys. Okay, you're at work and you've got the worst coworker who is making your life miserable. You need to get out of, well, that can be a toxic workplace and that you need to change, but it's just a bad day. It's just a bad day for them and they're taking it out on you. Your perspective can change just by looking at it differently. Get off my back. What is wrong with her? Why is she doing that? Why is he doing that? Why is that? What is wrong that is making them act like this? Does it have anything to do with me? No. Then I'm not going to take this personally. Are they angry because they're an angry person? Am I going to let that get all over me and make me an angry person? No. I may have to sit here and listen to you, blah, blah, blah. I choose how I react to it. I'm not going to give it back to you. I am not going to let it stick to me. Okay? End of story. This is your problem. You see how the perspective changed? You took yourself out of the situation and looked at it from different points of view. And when you got to the point of view is, how does this affect me? And how can I deal with it? Your perspective can change. And the only reason I'm telling you guys this is because I realized it. My perspective needed an adjustment. And you know me, if I think it happens to me, it might happen to you guys. And I'm all about trying to save you guys from any pain, suffering, struggle, any mistakes that I've already made and you can learn from them. Bonus. You know, I want that for you guys. And perspective is everything. I really believe that. Now, I'm going to read the poem one more time, just to kind of keep that resonating with you. Okay. And again, this is by Abdullah Shoaib. I'm very ugly, so don't try to convince me that I am a very beautiful person, because at the end of the day, I hate myself in every single way. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying there is beauty inside of me that matters. So rest assured, I will remind myself that I am a worthless, terrible person, and nothing you say will make me believe I still deserve love. Because no matter what, I am not good enough to be loved. And I am in no position to believe that beauty does exist within me. Because whenever I look in the mirror, I always think, am I as ugly as people say? That's a harsh poem. But let's take ourselves out, change it up. Let's look at it from a different perspective. We're going to read it from the bottom up. I always think, am I as ugly as people say? Because whenever I look in the mirror, beauty does exist within me. And I am in no position to believe that I am not good enough to be loved. Because no matter what, I still deserve love. And nothing you say will make me believe that I am a worthless, terrible person. So rest assured, I will remind myself There is beauty inside of me that matters. And I'm not going to lie to myself by saying I hate myself in every single way. I am a very beautiful person, so don't try to convince me that I am very ugly. I love that so much, guys. I really do. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys. So, as always, I love you. I value you. I honor you. And I'm so very, very glad that you were born.